Good afternoon, everyone. Just making sure it's afternoon. Ha! Because you know me, I be up all hours sometime. No, I don't like to sleep. Not at all. I suffer from a few things, and exhaustion is one of them. But anyway, I have a freebie today. It's right here. It's a chain. So we're gonna stick around for the freebie. Anyway, this video is brought to you by the word indecisiveness. And I've been suffering greatly to the point of constant tears with saying no. I've always had an issue saying no. And then today, when I was in the store looking for a frying pan, I said, I wonder if indecisiveness is a word. And I said, I wonder if it's a condition because I believe that's what my situation is at the current moment. But not only at the current moment, period, point blank, I suffer with indecisiveness because I suffer with saying no. I don't want to be the bad guy. I want to make sure everybody's happy. That is horrible. Horrible. I'm not saying for you. I'm absolutely speaking for myself. And I have suffered so bad with this condition that I literally cry when I want to say no and I turn around and say yes. So I'm not going to speak too much about my personal situation, but I recently went through something with someone and a lot of things fell into indecisiveness. So although things are going great and I had to speak about a few things and the path is clear, I struggle with indecisiveness now. um, I've been saying for a long time now, you know, I'm going to work on it. So I've been working on it little by little. I've been working on it. I'm doing the best I can to get my glasses out of the sunlight. I'm doing the best I can, and it's not working. So I don't know if it's the actual phone, if it's the glare from, I don't know what it is, but I keep seeing it. But I'm gonna turn this way. So anyway, I I thought it would be okay to mention it here because have you ever been in a situation where you knew someone and they always wanted to borrow money from you? You knew they weren't going to pay you and you wanted to say no, but you always say, yeah, because whatever the because is, we are going to take that out. We don't need the because, and we don't need a god dang thing after because. So, what we are going to learn to do is just say, no, unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. And that's it. I have become almost a master because now I don't even want to hear it. I will stop you when I'm really good and advanced in understanding where this is leading to. You don't even have to finish because it's way above my pay grade and it does not involve me. I've been saying that and I've been feeling very refreshed inside because of that. So if it has to be that you copied, and copy because I probably copied from somebody too. I'm sitting here now. Yesterday I get a phone call, 50 flyers, whatever the case may be, and and I said yes. But not only that, the person I said yes and I stopped what I was doing. Now, no phone call, no show, no nothing. Um, if the phone call comes today, guess what? I'm unavailable. I'm sorry, but I'm unavailable. Take that to elsewhere and see what they tell you. So sometimes you have to do things like that. I did something this morning that I knew I wanted to do, and I said I'm not making any excuses. Whatever those excuses are, they have to say bye bye for right now. So I knew I wanted an air freshener. I knew I wanted a pair of leggings. I knew I wanted a frying pan, and I knew I wanted at least one um, utensil, but the rubber one, not the plastic one. I'm trying to get away from the plastic. So I ended up with my frying pan. I ended up with my air freshener, and I ended up with two of the spatula things, and I came home with $1.10. Talk about sticking to what? Yeah. frugal. So I did it and I feel good. Now, the pan did not come with a top. So I'm hoping that I have a top that will fit it even enough to cover the food, even if it doesn't fit perfectly. But I needed a frying pan and I got it. Now I'm gonna have to get a pot, a soup pot, and some bowls. I already saw everything I'm gonna get. I just have to do everything little by little. But one of the beautiful things that I did, I picked up a product, which was this product right here, and then turns around. It is designed in the USA. So I already contacted them. I already sent my tax ID. I'm waiting for a phone call that's going to get me the catalog. This air freshener was $5, so I can only imagine what it is going to be wholesale. Oh, boys and girls. So I'm waiting for them to call me. I know it's going to be home decor, and I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do to replace this room right here. This room is not going to stay. I got to get rid of some of this paper and stuff that I'm dealing with. So I'm working on something, and I know what field I want it to be in, home decor. There's no way you can go without home decor. You may not shop frequently for home decor, but home decor is a area of concern for everyone, especially storage, fragrance, and stuff like that. Now, I'm just hoping it don't take forever, like a week or two, because I would like to work on seeing if I can get a minimal order. Hopefully, it's not a pallet or something where I have to use a credit account or whatever. Not to say a credit account, but one of them loan options. I'm good with stuff like that, but I don't want to do it, especially after getting myself damn near debt free again. And it's a matter of weeks, maybe 2 months. I should be debt free again. So I don't want to take that, and but I did say if I have to use the loan to get some goods to grind, that's what I'm willing to do, because it's going to help me get myself a little further. But for pocketbook and shoes, hell no, not me. But I'm feeling better now, knowing that indecisiveness is a freaking condition. And I'm like, I know I'm not going crazy. So I printed it out, and it says chronic indecisiveness isn't just being wishy-washy. Sometimes it is deeply tied to anxiety, fear of making the wrong choice or disappointing others, and mine come from disappointing others. Low self-worth, not trusting your own voice. I don't have low self-worth, but I do have not trusting my voice, because I feel like I'm saying no and I'm hurting someone. But I got to get rid of that, because I'm going to hurt myself in the long run. People pleasing, especially when you've been taught to put others first. I have been suffering with people pleasing for years. ADHD or other neurodivergent traits, excessive executive dysfunctional overwhelm. I don't know what excessive dysfunction is, but I know what overwhelm is. And I find myself overwhelmed all the time. And it also says trauma or past emotional wounds, afraid to get hurt or punished for deciding. And yes, I got beaten most of my damn childhood. So that right there is trauma, and then being punished and all that. So this right here is indecisiveness, and this is exactly what I'm suffering with. And I said today I'm going to work on saying some things, and I got some affirmations. I can say no with love. I am allowed to protect my peace. My kindness includes me. I'm learning to trust myself. It's okay to take my time, but I will not stay stuck. Every small choice is a step forward. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be present. And that's what I've been working on for the last few months, working on being present, which means when my mind drifts off to what was, I say, Shay, we're going to get this shit. And I be cursing at myself too. Yes, I do. I be like, I'm going to do ass in a minute. Boom. No, that I don't do. That was just be funny. That would be myself. No. And I'm not selfish for choosing what's right for me. My needs matter too. Clarity will come. I'm doing my best, and that is enough. And this right here, I'm going to put in my room, and I'm going to say this to myself a few times a day. But I can't believe they don't even have a website. Wow. Ooh, if I can get my hands on this stuff right here and see what I can do with this. Yes, I am. Now, I did have some pasta. I did have some pasta, so I was sitting down nibbling on some of my sauce. Mmm, mmm. I was watching a video someone made some pasta, and she was just dumping pots and pots and bottles of sauce, and just about every comment was like, "You have to season that sauce." And I'm like, oh my goodness. But girl, I'm gonna tell you something, girl. That sauce I saw in your picture, I think I made that, girl. We real good sisters. That looked like something I made. I'm like, are you sure you didn't? I didn't make that. I'm like, oh, that sauce look like it got lots of flavor in it. I love me some flavor. Now I'm not one to have an abundance of salt. I know that this right here, you can't even taste salt in this. The only thing you're tasting here is all the other spices. I don't even believe I put any salt in here other than what's in the sauce, and I don't taste any salt. This would be something that people in my area wouldn't eat. They'd be like, I'm not eating that. That tastes like just. I can't say, Coral. You know we see here, right? You know how we do. But anyway, this what they would say, oh, somebody else cooked this or something, whatever. They would say a certain different dialect, but I'm not gonna say it. But I made this and I didn't put any salt in it, but it's delicious. Mm-mm, mm-mm. It's delicious, and I'm working on my next meal. I'm having a freaking ball making my cookbook. My cookbook is not gonna have anything fancy or whatever, but I gotta make sure I don't use AI on the cover because a lot of people are struggling to sell their books because people are so accustomed to AI doing their book. But I used AI to do the cover of one of my books, and I already sold over 61 copies. So thank goodness that when you open a book, you can tell that's somebody real speaking because the book sound like me because I wrote it my damn self. So, and I'm thankful that I even have the pages that people are starting to read now. So I am absolutely amazed at myself right now. You can't even toot my horn like I could toot my own damn horn. Nobody can. But my cookbook, I'm already up to page 15. Now, if I want to send it as an ebook, I'm already there. I kind of want it in paperback, but the reason why I don't want it in paperback is because I don't want to be that person who brings clutter into someone's home. And the reason why I say that is because books to me is clutter. I'm not going to say it is. You could look behind me and see a whole bunch of paper. Once I cut, chop, and whatever the paper, it's gone. But see, this is stacks of paper that I use. But if I had a bookshelf covering a whole wall and it was covered with nothing but books, there is no interchanging with that in my eyes. That is straight up clutter. You will never find a bookshelf in here. Matter of fact, if you find a book in here and I read it already, it's out the door. It's out the door. And matter of fact, speaking of out the door, I put out a few clothing items a couple days ago. So my leggings that came in today, I don't have to take out anything for that. The 2 spoons that I purchased today, I'm definitely getting rid of 2 spoons. And no, I'm not going to save it to give it to nobody either. I'm going to put it right in a plastic bag, nice and easy, and drop it right down the garbage commode. You know why? There are so many people out there searching out the garbage for things because that's the only place they can get it. I am not dropping my stuff off at the Salvation Army so they could put $3.99 on it and sell it to somebody. The people out there who's digging in the garbage, that's who's gonna find my stuff. And I don't care how you may think about it, keep it to yourself, honey, because my settings are on high, which means if you say something that's not even remotely kindness, I will never see the comment. And speaking of that, 2 comments were alerted to me, but I don't get to see the comment, which means there is a trigger word in there or it's a negative comment. I'm going to say thank you very much for those 2 comments because it got me 2 comments. So we need to be mindful of one thing on YouTube and on so many social sites that people are building themselves. They need to get paid. So some of us are in it for the fun, and when we do get our paycheck, we'll be all just as happy. But some people are absolutely relying on that money to pay their bills. I don't get paid from YouTube, so when I say some people, I'm not included in that. If you negatively comment, it may not sound good and a person may not have thick skin, but a person needs to say thank you to you anyway and wish you a good day. You know why? Because cha-ching, they're getting paid by that comment that you're leaving. Now, as far as me, if you want to say something, you boy, you four eyes, you dark skin, whatever the case may be, say anything you want to say to me, honey. I can't read it because I have my settings on high, and my settings also has some trigger words in there. So whatever you mentioned for the last 2 days, I didn't get those comments, but I got the credit. So thank you for that. I would like to do a freebie in this video, so this is going to be my freebie, and the only reason why this is going to be my freebie is because I could afford to ship this in the mail. Which means I don't have to say to you, can you send me $5? Now, if someone sent me the gratitude of $5, of course I need it, I would take it, but you know what I'm saying. I'm working on something. I don't know. I don't know how to say it, and hopefully I don't offend anyone. I believe God is talking to me in some kind of way, and I'm not going to go into that because I'm not making this no religious post. Whatever the situation is for me, is leaning towards a nonprofit, something where people can donate like contributions like $5, $10, whatever the case may be, and then other people who need help with their rent. I would be in charge of helping them with their rent if they can provide me proof of how they have been shopping the last few months prior to needing that help with their rent, which means if I was able to do the nonprofit organization that that seems like my mind is leaning towards, I would actually need bank statements to show how that person's spending habits are. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't care what capacity I was in to help other people, which it seems like this is where my life's direction is going. I would never help someone with their rent that was spending money, especially abusing their own. I wouldn't give them someone's taxpayers hard-earned money. I wouldn't do that, and that may lead me into judging myself, and I damn gonna sure don't want to judge anyone else. If you are spending up all your money here, and you expect somebody to come up and help you, I'm not helping you. And I'm not even going to beat around the bush and say we don't have enough funds. We're not helping anyone that squanders their own money. So I'm not doing that. And then for someone in low-income housing to abuse go into your home and you got holes all in the wall, you didn't even try to plaster them, I'm not helping you with your rent. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And even if my own daughter was in a situation like that and abused the kindness of a landlord, and no, I wouldn't do that. I would never be that person. So they'd be like, oh my God, don't even go to her. She's not even helping. That lady is mean. She bald-headed and ugly too. Yeah, you know how people get, well, she bald-headed and ugly too. Wow. Yes, I'm serious. That's how people are. So you know how you go to the shopping lot and you get first. Like I was in the shopping center a little while ago, and I put my shopping cart to the register. I was the next person to go up, so I went right at the next register, just browsing or whatever. And this woman comes and she pushes her cart in front of mine and she goes to the register. I didn't say nothing. I just took my cart and pushed it right between hers and the register. And the lady said, oh, I'm sorry. I said, no, it's okay. Have a nice day. And just put myself on the register. That's it. You're not gonna take a step at me in public like that. I'm not going to get all extra and let you catch me bald-headed and ugly on the camera acting out. I'm not doing that, but you surely not going to cut me in the line. You could have stepped back, to see where the person was, but I was right there, and then the person behind me was looking at me like I was going, I'm not coming out of character like that. I always remember one thing: you don't have. it don't matter where you are. You may think somebody's not looking, somebody's looking. If you look at what people post on social media, images that are caught where a person thinks they're not being caught, doing certain things and no! And the reason why I'm saying that is because I was driving down the street the other day and I was parked next to this man, so curiosity gets me. I like to see people and what people wear and stuff. And this man was in the thing driving, and he was just. I'm like, ooh, and this that Linus over there eating the booger walkers. And all I can do is sit there. I'm like, oh, his steering wheel is filthy. Oh, I kid you not. I am a weirdo, and I will tell you, I'm a freaking weirdo because when I sanitize my hands, I sanitize my steering wheel. You have no idea what you touch that 9 times out of 10 got feces on it. You just have no idea. When I saw they went into someone's home, two sisters, one was immaculate, one was clean and a little disarray, lived in, put it that way, but not filthy. The floors was tidy up, everything had a place, but it wasn't like her sister's home. Do you know that her sister had more, the one that was absolutely immaculate had more feces throughout the house than the woman whose house was the one who lived in an untidy. You couldn't even find any bacteria in her house. And the sister, and that just showed that somebody was in the bathroom not washing their hands. That's all it shows. Somebody. So I'm hoping to figure out some things. I think one of the main things I was indecisive about is moving. I think today I made a decision because my phone rang and someone wanted to know if I had, how I was doing everything. I said, I think I made a decision about moving. Now, my doctor already did talking to the person and the caseworker and all that other stuff. My insurance would be $330 cheaper if I was to move, and my electricity would be free. But I do know of a woman who moved into a building that was under management of the person who would be under management, above management of me. That woman went in and out of the hospital for mental health reasons, and they evicted her from the building, put her stuff out in the street. She came home from the hospital. She had nowhere to go, and as far as I know, she's living on the street. And when I was speaking to someone recently about my situation, he said he had to speak to someone directly because he wanted to make sure what could get me in the building couldn't also get me out of the building. So I said, there is no moving for me. The only way I'm moving if they put me out of here, because I may not like living here. I may now begin to hear the dragging of the furniture all over my head and everything, but the child running and dragging that toy is gone. So that alleviates some of the pressure. I'm not going to give up security that I have and that I know for something that I don't know, especially when I know that the person that was put out was under the management of that person who would be under management of me. And I've left out of here too many times and they have left. So I'm not, when my doctor calls me and asks me, did I finish do it? I'm saying, yeah, but I've decided I can't do it because what if is something, and he's going to understand when I say what if. He's not going to need to understand no more because he told me quite a few times already, more people should be like me and think what if, because what if is true. One of the reasons why I only have one child, not the fact, not omitting the fact that I have a hard time carrying children, but I never wanted more than one child if I was still poor. And I know it sounds crazy, but this morning I happened to be seeing someone's video, a house of 7, and the person's going to the food bank, and the comments that before the comments came in, the person was making all of these like comments leaving it in the post. I mean, a whole bunch of posts inside the thing, and answering everybody's question before they can ask it, But none of those questions came to my mind. I wanted to know how they can keep having children that they can't afford to feed. That's the only question. But then you say to yourself, children are blessings, but damn, who wants to be born poor? Who wants to be born into a family that's eating one slice of pizza, or got one loaf of bread, and who wants to be born into that? Are we as parents not thinking about that? Maybe you have one, and you got to get on your grind, you're trying, you going to school, you got options, but this person was taken out of the workforce due to health conditions, mental at that. So now you have a whole husband, you have a whole house, and a mortgage you can't pay. At any point in time when you had the excess of one and two and three, you didn't think about any of that. I would leave if I was able to get pregnant and I had a man that would get me pregnant, knowing that we were scraping and damn sure on food stamps. I would leave. And I kid you not, one of the things I'm indecisive about, I gave up security uh, for love. So I'm sitting down every day, like it's repeating in my head like a typewriter, like a type of, like I gave up security for love. So I'm trying to figure out at what point am I gonna figure out that I made a drastic mistake, but I don't actually care. I want to know what it feels like to give up security for love. And when I say security, I mean the option of this person maybe cushioning my fall. I don't believe this person's going to cushion my fall, but this person brings everything else to the table. And I thought about it. My peace, my calm, my tranquility, that's what matters to me most right now. So I say, you know what? This person may have two businesses of his own, but his money is his, and I'm not asking for it. And I already know I was a bad girl, and I did something, bad, but I don't want to be with somebody for what they have in their pockets. Absolutely not. I'm not doing that, because even though I know I need and I need and I need, God forbid this person die and I have no ties to that money. What would I put myself through relying on it to cushion my fall right now? This is not the fall I'm worried about right now. I'm gonna hold this fall down the best way I can. But do you think I'm gonna ride in the sunset with somebody that is gonna cushion my fall? Then one day they drop and never get back up, and then I don't have nothing. I don't have no. I can't do that. I maybe I'm not doing that. And no, I'm not doing that. Mm-mm. I can't do that. I can't sleep at night with stuff like that. But I was driving today, and all I kept saying to myself, I gave up security for love. And it went through like a tape recorder. I gave it, and I'm like, but it is what it is. I'd rather give up security for love any day, because if that person passes away, I know I had that love, and I get to live on that experience for the rest of my life. And maybe that's what looking through scrapbooks and photo albums and greeting cards and stuff like that. That's what those things build. But I'm not going to have a scrapbook. I got a photo book, but that's for my daughter when she has her first child. So but I'm not gonna live through those things. I have a greeting card from an online friend there. I have a greeting card. I think this one is from Coral. Um, I have one. I think that came from Kevin. I think I have a greeting card somewhere on that wall that came from Judy. Beverly gave me something that's on my computer desk. She made me something, and it's on my computer desk. I want things that I can display in my home that I can see. Coral gave me a plaque. It's in my bedroom, right next to my dresser, right on my dresser. I see it every time I wake up in the morning. When I'm laying down on my bed, I see it. I don't want something that I'm gonna take and put in my drawer, and every couple of months I might happen to move something and see it. I'm not with that. Um, I don't think she's watching this video. She gave me this, and this stays on my chair. April sent me a throw. It's on my little my little sofa, little sofa love seat. Coral sent me Afghan thing. It's on my couch. Those things to me mean something when I can see them every day. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I had a nice dream last night. I had a dream that I got a few packages from Amazon from some YouTube viewers, and I was so happy because the paper that I need is in the list. But you know what? I haven't put my list in YouTube right now. Things are going hard for everybody, me included. But I was sitting there looking at my paper, and my paper's almost to the end, and I already like I made this card here. You are blessed, loved, and whatever. So I'm just having a ball, but now I said I'm going back to making my handmade cards, and I printed this card, and this is 3D right here, and then this is 3D right here. But I love this card. It's simple and sweet. I don't know how to tell you, but I love this card, and I did it. I printed it so I could turn around and do it in different ways, and I want to sit down and just print my life away, but I did find out about a flea market that they're gonna have about 3 hours away from me. The table is $55. I don't believe I will be able to make that event, but the one that is $25, I know I'm gonna be able to make I know I'm gonna be able to make that. The problem is gonna be if I'm gonna leave the house. Now it seems like when I'm having a struggle of leaving the house, going anywhere, I still struggle, but going there, I don't struggle. The only struggle that I will have is if the sun is on my head out there. That sun is like a death wish out there. So I bought myself two umbrellas because my daughter may attend if I attend. So I bought myself two umbrellas so I could have something over my head. I can't wear hats and all that other stuff. Can't do it, not at all. So it is what it is. But I have to say thank you so much to my two new subscribers. I saw that yesterday. I need to ask, is my schedule that I'm trying out now working for you? Because although I know everyone's coming from different time zones, this video will air midnight of tomorrow. So that's what I'm doing to all my videos. I'm airing them midnight of the next day. So I have about 3 videos that have not aired yet. And now that I'm speaking of it, I may have one that I didn't put a description on yet. And then this one here, I said I'm going to do a freebie because I almost have 300 subscribers. Come on now, boys and girls. You know I could afford a 67-cent stamp. Is that what a stamp costs? I think I just told a lie. It's a little lower because I have eBay. So I paid $69, but I'm going to use a postage stamp here. Uh-oh, Tina. Yes, I am resting. My feet are resting. And let me tell you, I'm going to have to go back to the Dollar Tree. These shoes right here are they're worth way more than $5, boys and girls. Yesterday, I was in here, and that pain that I was experiencing, my foot went away as soon as I put these shoes on. So if you need these shoes, but please don't wear them outside. If you're wearing them in your house, please don't wear them outside. I know I don't have the right to tell you what to do in your home, but don't spoil up your shoes like that. Don't wear them outside and then wear them inside. Don't do that. So anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. This here is my freebie. I don't know how to say who would win it, because the last time I said it, whoever gets the envelope number. No one said anything about the number, but I'm going to show you what the chain looks like. I'm doing 2 freebies offline as well. This is my freebie, and this is for my eBay customer. I'm going to try to do a freebie on here, but I'm absolutely... Wait a minute, child, please. I forgot I didn't find my other chain yet. I had to let my daughter hold my chain. Let me take this one real quick. Take this one real quick. Because I forgot I didn't find my chain yet. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Because she's holding the other one, so I didn't find it. Now let's see if I still have my freebie. Where's my freebies? Now I'm doing two freebies on eBay, and one is gonna be the chain that you just saw me put around my neck. I have one. I have about 4 of those, so one of these today is going to be my freebie on eBay, and I'm thinking of freebieing a pair of earrings, and that's on eBay as well. Of course, unless someone doesn't want to pay fees, you know. I'm just assuming. I'm not speaking for anyone. Anyway, I think this video. Oh, Coral done left the video. Uh-oh. I absolutely love these earrings, and I can't ship these for 89 cents. So, but I have some of those. Those are my freebies. So, if anyone is purchasing a greeting card on eBay, you would be kind enough to let me know so that I could throw you a chain in there for freebie. Now, for those who don't mind looking at my cards, I made this card here, and it says, "I'm praying your worries vanish." And I used pink as the background, and there's a pink envelope in there. And this one you already know has the loved and thing. I put a gem there and a gem here, and I layered it up on pink paper. And this is the same as I cut this one. It says "Let Go." It's a 3D card. I layered it on the pink, and I put 2 gems on it. And of course, you see the $3 price tag. So that's what someone would pay if I didn't have to pay fees. I'm not going to make them pay fees. What kind of person do you take me for? You know, I think I'm going to fail this retail stuff unless I figure out something else. That's why I'm looking to get into home decor, and hopefully everything works out. I do have an agenda. I want to go to see someone about in a gift shop, put it that way. I won't say about what, but I'm wondering if today would be a good day to walk down there. Okay, you know what? I'm going to take a walk. See you later. Bye-bye.